welcome in. This is episode 1 of Soul Talk that we announced last week. You probably noticed the new theme song, which is awesome. The new graphics, thanks to Tony's wife. Didn't even have to pay her. So that's exploiting labor. Know somebody in advertising.
Yes, it's nice giving the shaft to other people instead of me getting the shaft from it. So it feels good. I can see why people do it.
I am fine not being shafted.
Me too.
What's the worst is I drank all my coffee and I didn't fill it. So that's exactly where I am right now.
So that's what I have going for me.
That is awesome. I know you're a big fan of Game of Thrones, right?
Yes, except for the last season. That is just bad. I mean, I want you to watch it. I really think you'll like it. Except that last season, I don't want you to watch it. It's just upsetting to me.
I hear the coloring is awful, but the reason that I bring that up is the producer of Game of Thrones,
the DB Weiss.
So his name is,
or the person that wrote him,
Lin Kai.
Who?
Lin Kai. The person that wrote him is R. Martin.
I know. That's why I'm like, you said that. And I'm like, R. Martin died? Because now we're never going to know how it ends.
The guy who, producer on Game of Thrones creators Netflix series. Wrong thing. I misread the headline. Netflix was going to take it over. This is a sign from God. Don't give it to the Asians because he got poisoned, Tony. He was 39. I read that wrong. Because George R. Martin didn't write the book or didn't direct it. He produced it.
Yeah, he was. I think
that's
he was
why I was oh no, producer. But that's for Netflix's series.
I think R. Martin was a creative consultant, or like not that he had the final say, but he would be like, you need to do it like this because I wrote it in like this and this and this kind of thing.
I wrote it in this font. So
I wrote it like 10 years ago, so I think I know.
Yeah, it's I thought it said, I didn't realize it said the Netflix part, but why would they? I don't know how it ended. No spoilers. Why would they?
Like garbage.
What drives me crazy is they take wildly successful. They as a Netflix take on wildly successful shows that have ended. So whether the last season was bad or not, it was wildly successful. It ended, and then they try to bring it back. Same thing happened with like Arrested Development. Is they did this, like it ended. That was fine. And then they decided to bring it back, and Michael Cera's 40 and tries to play a 20-year-old.
I like the fact that they try to revive something, because if it was so good, they want to continue just a little bit more, but there needs to be a time frame for how this works. Unless it's certain shows, like with Seinfeld could probably come back because there's still a large following for it, and it wouldn't be as weird. But like you said, with Arrested Development, there was like 5 to 10 years between, and everyone looked so old except for Jason Bateman, and he looked like the exact same.
That's
and
true.
It was just like, who are these characters? And I'm like, I think she got plastic surgery. And then I started typing it in, and then Google fixed it, and it's like, no, she did not get plastic surgery, just old.
Yeah, it's I am sad that he died, but it is I hope they do not go forward with these remakes that are. And every time I'm online, like looking for pop culture things to talk about, I always see like the ones that are, you'll never guess what show got canceled and renewed, and then it shows like a the Ozark picture, and I'm like, no, yeah. God, please not Ozark. And then it's like, oh no, they got renewed. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I know. And then it's like, just wanted that for that.
And going away is pit bulls and parolees. And I'm like, okay.
That show was actually, I have this weird fascination for that kind of like stupid TV shows. Like, I don't even know what you classify that pit bulls and parolees. I watched it all the time when it first came out. And like Honey Boo Boo, I watched it. I was just like fascinated by how drastically different people are in the South than we are. And I also liked, did you watch Hardcore Pawn with me?
Yes, Hardcore Pawn is awesome. I still watch some of the highlights on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm like, I watched Hardcore Pawn for a long ass time, and there was this other one that we watched when I lived on 89 when you would come over on Fridays. It wasn't Storage Wars. It was like the people that would bid on moving things across country. Do you remember what that show called, or what that show was called?
Oh yeah, I don't remember what that show was called, but yeah, the whole premise was all these people were independent truckers, and they would like
Yeah.
instead of like bidding to buy something like Storage Wars, they would bid to transport other people's goods that are already in a trailer or packaged up. And the whole drama
Yes.
was, I'm gonna undercut this person and only charge like two or like 5,000. Then the other person's like, you
Yeah.
thought I'm gonna charge $4,980, and then they kept going like that, and then
Yeah.
eventually someone would win, and they're like,
Yeah. So I'm like,
yay, driving.
I love watching those stupid films, and I don't even have a reason. Like, I'm gravitated to that like shit.
I think the worst thing I watch, as you guys know, is a 90 Day Fiance. And
I
that's
haven't
like,
watched
and
it.
but I
I
watch
watched
the
Guy
other way.
Grocery Games. That might be the
I
equivalent
I
for
watch
that.
like whenever I watch I'll only watch the Food Channel or Food Network when it's like Guys Grocery Games or um what's that other one where they cook and he's the host? Isn't there another one aside from Guys Grocery Games?
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't.
I think
I
there's
can't think of
another,
anything.
or the diners, the
Yeah, I watched some
drive-ins,
of those
diners.
diners, drive-ins, and dives. I definitely watch grocery games. I watch a lot of holiday things like the Halloween bake-off things where they have to make, whether it's a series where it's like 8 people and each week they have a next episode where they have to like do something within an hour, or the ones that are like the show is done in one episode, like Nailed It. I watch those where like you need to make this awesome Christmas or Halloween thing, whatever, in 40 minutes. And then
See,
whoever wins.
I like watching those and then acting like I know what I'm saying. Like, you don't use paprika when you're working with ground beef. That's for chicken,
You're like,
Janice.
you dumb bit. Yeah, I feel like I'm that too. So I'm like, right now, I'm currently watching Hell's Kitchen. I think I have one or two more seasons until I'm caught up.
That's amazing because that's like within 3 weeks.
I know. And during my surgery, I finished all of MasterChef in like a month. Literally, like a decade worth of content they made. I finished it in like, you guys seriously don't have any more episodes?
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. But let's roll into the intro. So today we're going to be talking about the cultural phenomenon Among Us, and let's see. We were also talking about how awesome's your music taste? Be judged by AI that I assume is British because he was a dick to me. And then how Apple pretty much just passed on Elon, and now Elon's sending a rocket to Mars.
I already sent a car into space, so
So,
suck it, Apple.
and then we
Suck
have
it.
the can you guess it? So something happened to me today that I'm going to talk about instead of my usual can you guess it. But let me pull up Tony's. Uh, Tony sends me so many texts. So his can you guess it is they're just as dumb as we are. So go ahead and place your bets as to what you believe that is. But I wanted to start off talking about mine because it's still fresh on the mind. So I was at the gym today, and um, I was doing my workouts, and they have this Olympic lifting area where it's got a full cage. So what that means is it's like the four supports, and you can do like squats on it. It has the squat safety bars, so it looks like a box without walls, if that makes sense. Like a standing rectangle, no walls. Has four
Yes.
posts, so that way you can put like the safety bars on the sides. So like if you fail on a rep, those safety bars will catch it, and it won't like just fucking fall on you. And you can like reposition everything, so it's very like, so you can go from like squats to bench and all that stuff, and have like little hooks to rest the bar on right when you're done with the set. And so today I was doing like shoulders, chest, back, arms, and I was doing shoulder, chest, and back in that Olympic lifting area. And So there's 5 total stations in this giant area, and 3 of the 5 were taken. So I'm like, oh, not a big deal. I'll just go towards the end, so that because that way I'll have my own little space and everything, and not next to somebody. And then this girl comes in, and she takes the spot to the right of me, to the left of somebody else, and so she takes the 5th spot. And I don't even notice because she comes in and I'm in the middle of my warm up. So in the warm ups, what you're really doing is focusing on the mind muscle connection. So like people think it's as simple as like if you're doing a bench, you're just grabbing the bar and just like pushing it back up. No, you actually focus on like flexing on the way down and then slowly pushing it back up while we're maintaining your flex, so that way you can get everything activated. So when you start lifting, nothing's cold, so you're pretty much all stretched and it's good. You're good to start putting on weight. So I do my chest exercise, no problem. I do my shoulder exercise, no problem. And when I get to my back exercise, I'm sitting there. I'm sitting on the bench that I was using for benching. I just pushed it back so that way I can do my exercise I was doing for my back. And I'm just sitting there, just staring at myself, just thinking about, okay, this is what I'm going to do next. Or I have one more set. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do differently. I'm going to focus more on pulling with my elbows back as opposed to my biceps towards me. And like those are just the kind of things that you usually think about when you're in between sets, in the middle, or when you're in between sets, still in your like however many sets you're doing. That's just what you think about time to time. And this lady flags me down. I have my over ear beats that I wear now to the gym, and she flags me down. She like waves her hand in front of my, like not like directly in front of my face, but you know when you're next to somebody and you're trying to get their attention, you like wave, do little gestures to try to get their attention and stuff. And she does that to me, and all like most of the time people do that before you start lifting, because they're going to say like, hey, can I borrow those 10-pound weights that you have on your station? Because every station has like 2 10-pound weights, 2 25-pound weights, 2 35, 2 45, 2 55. And if you want to lift something heavier, you have to borrow other people's weights, and you're not going to ask them a question when they're in the middle of lifting something. So this lady does that to me, and I slide the headphone off of my left ear, or my right ear, and I'm like, yeah. And she goes, hey, so I'm really insecure, and I noticed you staring. That makes me uncomfortable. And this has never happened to me in the 10 years I've been going to the gym. Never, ever, ever, ever has it happened where I'm just like doing my own thing, thinking like, I need to pull more with my back next time because I didn't get that good of a lift this past set. And this girl like flags me down, and I'm thinking, but she says that to me, and she came in wearing like you do because it's cold outside. She was wearing sweats and a hoodie, just regular gym clothes. And when she got my attention to flag me down, she was wearing a sports bra and short shorts where you can see the back of her, like the fat of the ass cheeks hanging out of the shorts. And she had to wave at me and get my attention. And I'm, yeah. And she's like, and I was expecting her to say, hey, can I borrow the 10-pound weights? And I was going to say, yep, go for it. And then put my headphones back on and get focused again. And the whole she said that, and it took me a second to process the ridiculous thing that she just said to me. And I just slowly look over, because I'm already looking at her. I just tell her, I have more important things to do than stare at you. And then I just put my headphone back on, and then I went back to looking straight, because I'm like, I can understand if somebody's like, if you're, so say there's somebody right next to me, if I'm like this.
Yeah.
But the thing is I'm looking at myself in the mirror, or like slightly to the side or down. Like when you're thinking about something, you're never looking at somebody going like, you're never like looking at somebody thinking while you're like making eye contact.
I've never done it. Stare at people, but I like stare through them.
But like even then, I don't. it's maybe I'm just weird that I don't do that, and a lot of people do. I don't stare at people whenever I'm like most of the time I'm like I'll look at an inanimate object and then I'll think, or like looking past somebody kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like if I'm looking at like the wall behind me, someone walks by, okay, I'm not staring at you. But she's all the way to the right. So these platforms that they're on are about 8 feet wide. So it's a lot of space. Like I said, like it's a giant area, but they can only fit five Olympic stations in there because
Yeah.
they take up 8 feet each. So it's like there's no way it's possible for me to like be looking slightly to the side and looking at her, even though there's mirrors in front. If I'm like slightly tilting my head, it's like, yeah, I'm not staring at you. And it flabbergasted me so much that she's like, hey, and the fact that she's showing her entire ass to the gym and also wearing a sports bra and says, hey, so I'm self-conscious and I don't like you staring. And that's why
I
I didn't even there's so many things I wanted to say, but I didn't even be like what are you talking about? I wasn't staring. I just said I have more important things to do than stare at you. And then I put my headphone back on and she went on and did her thing, and then she was on the phone and I'm like, you're going to tell me it's distracting, but you're over here on your phone. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm at the gym. I don't know. No, I got time.
yeah, it's
It's
just like
like, well, like what are you doing, man? I'm doing my own thing. I don't like, yeah, some guys might do, but like I am here for a reason. I'm
yeah,
not here to stare at you. Also, I'm not gonna blatantly stare at somebody because that's weird.
yeah, just like at the gym and like I know there's people that do it and it's just like but I'm not that person. And if I was that person, I probably wouldn't just be like, damn.
Yeah, but
Just like,
I just said what I said and I put my headphone back on because I'm like, I'm not gonna argue with you.
yeah, it's just
Because I'm like, if you say I am, I'm not, because ugh, like I you should be self-conscious because you look like that, you're wearing shorts and your whole situation's out.
I don't really go to the gym. Like actually I could rephrase that. I never go to the gym. When I went running and stuff, we have that little like weightlifting area. It's nowhere near what you're talking about. It goes up to like 50 pounds, I think, in free weights, and that's about it. And I'm just like, there are people that go there, but they're kind of what's the what's the exact opposite of a gym rat?
A hibernating hamster.
They have these chicks that are hibernating hamsters that like
I didn't know you were gonna call a woman that.
well, there's just we have a whole bunch of girls at my area that are hibernating hamsters, and they like go and they grab the 10-pound thing, and like you said, gyms have big mirrors everywhere to like make it look bigger, but also to like check your form. More importantly, to make sure you're not like hurting yourself, bending and stuff. They go and they're like this. They have their phone, take a picture of the weight, and they put it down, and then they leave after 10 minutes, or they like do a do one set of something and then they dip. Or there's like the hibernating hamster guys, and they're all the ones that I've seen that are guys, they're between the ages of like 15 and like 21. There was this one time I woke up and I was there like right at 4:30, 4:45, because I like to go running first. When I did that, I like to go first thing. He picked up this 50-pound weight. He had to have been like 18, I think. And he was like flailing his whole body trying to like lift it up. And I was just watching him like, dude, you're gonna hit yourself in the face with that damn thing. What are you doing? And he tried doing it again and he swung it up and it almost hit him, but he dropped it like in the air and it fell down and it cracked in two. So we have a broken 50-pound, and they're not like the free weights that are the steel middle and they have like the rubber on the sides. It's the one that are like ceramic or whatever they are. So it's just like all one piece, like one mold. And the person came in, he was just like, who broke this? I pulled out my headphone and I'm just, some kid broke it. I don't know. And he's like, dumbass kid. At least I have two door stops.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I just I had to share that
So
because I was like, I'm gonna
that's
forget about it.
That's my only
Yeah,
two things, but I've
that's
never had anybody
that's
like
ridiculous. But
I never had anybody like do that to me, and I don't even know what I'd do. I'd just be like, "What?"
yeah, but I'm like, I don't even understand. I don't even know how to respond to you. I'm ashamed of you. How dare you think so little of me? You think I, an intellectual, would be into you, a subordinate? But before I
Follow
forget
8 people on OnlyFans,
on
so
the
I think I know.
I think I know bodies. Um,
That's so
Before I
sexist.
forget, in the show notes,
It's not
we
nice.
have an interview with the one and only champ, our cousin Josh, at the end of this. So make sure to stay tuned and tell us how you think it is. And if you watch the shows, leave a comment below. If you watch his wrestling shows, leave the comment below. But that'll be at the end of the episode. So if you had to pick between Among Us or Fall Guys, which would you pick?
Like playing with everybody or playing independently?
Both.
Like just playing with. Well, if I'm doing both, I would pick independently. I'll be playing Fall Guys, and then for everybody, I'll play Among Us. But if I only had to pick one, um, I think Among Us. What about you?
I would probably pick. I never really played Among Us, to be honest. So I would probably pick Fall Guys because I never played Among Us.
I'm like, I would like to play Fall Guys because you can talk in that. There are ways you can like cheat and like go around it in like Among Us, but yeah, I'm like I played Among Us like 3 times. I really liked it, but it's
Yeah,
just
I need to play it. Yeah, I'm just
I
asking
mean, your
because I've
wife
never played
plays
it,
it.
but I've played Fall Guys, and both kind of got started at the same time. Fall Guys to me hit a higher peak in
Yeah, but
terms of like
Fall
overall
Guys is like
popularity,
died
people
out.
playing it, and then it like to me it had a more steep. So theirs was more of a V, and Fall Guy or
Yeah,
Among
it
Us
was
is
just like a
more of a
pyramid
U.
scheme, and
Yeah.
then they moved 2 towns over.
So so that one kind of died a little bit, but Among Us. So looking at the figures here, everyone's like, "Oh no, is it in a decline?" Well, of course it is, you idiots. It's the same as Flappy Bird. Do you remember Flappy Bird? That game was the most ridiculous game that ever could have happened, but the creator made so much money that he felt bad that people had an addiction, so he canceled it. I still have Flappy Bird on my phone, by the way. And
I don't know
all
if I
these
still have
these
it.
kinds of games do that. These kinds of what people don't realize is like these kinds of games go up and they go down in popularity, and they either rise really fast and die really fast, or like Among Us slowly start inching up, then they get on the like lately it's a lot better because then if you can get Twitch players to play it, then from there it skyrockets and however long you can keep it. But um so they were saying at one time active players was over 500,000 players.
Yeah, that was just last month. And what is like crazy about it is a couple things. The majority of the users were on mobile because it's a free game. You can pay money, like there is in-app purchases to get rid of ads and to like add cosmetic things to your little character, whether it's like a little hat or like a little animal and stuff like that. But also the people that made the game, Interswap, there's only 4 employees that have.
Really?
Yeah, that's just like if you ever played it, it's an indie game. I mean, there's no real like difficult moving pieces in this whole thing. And when they made it, they didn't really think it was going to be that good of a game to begin with. And so they're already thinking about doing a sequel. And then the ball started rolling because of quarantine, and people are just playing it like crazy. And it's just like, oh, we're going to cancel the sequel, and then we're going to continue to build on the first game
Yeah.
because you don't really need a sequel. You just need to add new maps and like fix bugs.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
just like,
it's definitely very interesting how like
I mean, it
something
didn't
like
beat.
this can happen.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that's like some good things have came out of quarantine. It's just like instead of going crazy, you can be playing this game with your friends, so you're still playing with other people, and you can also just it's even good for the people that made this game. Like I said, there's only 4 people that have actually are in the studio that made this game. I did purchase the game, like I think it was like $2 to get rid of the ads, but it's like, okay, well, 500,000 people spent $2 on this. You guys made a shit ton of money that
Yeah.
you could split it easy, and the
And
game doesn't
it's
look like it would cost
yeah.
that much to make.
Well, and also it's those of like You have to like we've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Zombies lately, and we like when we first tried the multiplayer, we were like unsure about it. We still have our reservations about the multiplayer. Um, but the whole thing is it's these experiences, especially when you talk about mobile gaming where it's like $1, $2. If you can get a week worth of fun, that's a good return on investment. And I don't
Yeah.
know anybody that would not do it. So the trick is to only charge like it's when companies get greedy, like Fall
Yeah.
Guys. They
True.
got too greedy, and then they're like, okay, you want these cute skins? $20. And everyone's like, no, thanks.
No, thank
Do
you.
the skins do anything? No. I'm fine being a pizza then.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I mean, I fall into that thing where a new game comes out. I do put a couple of bucks extra into it to get a new skin. Like
Yeah.
when Fall Guys came out, I went to the PSN and I got like the PlayStation exclusive skins. So I came with like a French fry outfit and a soda cup outfit and like a burger or some other shit like that. Uh, I feel like I got my money worth out of it. It was only $8. So it's like the game was free because it was for free that month. And then I think it's like $20 or something on PC. But
Yeah.
but back to Among Us, it's like it beat Pokemon Go and Candy Crush as most active players like playing at one time. And it's like Candy Crush exploded
And it's
like 10ish years
still
ago, and
going.
it's still going. And
They
especially
make
now, they're like
so much.
last month, this game beat Candy Crush, and this game beat Pokemon Go. We already said the other day, Pokemon Go, like what was it, $1 billion that they made this year?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's just crazy that they beat this. I mean, they did say 3% do play on PC, but the majority of it is on
Yeah, not
mobile.
not very many people are playing it on, and like most of them are going to be Twitch streamers. As weird as that
Yeah.
sounds,
And like
because
everyone I
it's
see
like good
playing
content.
on PC is like a Twitch streamer. And
Yeah,
Marco and Ashley, I think they played it on their laptops actually, like their desktops. But when I was playing with them, I played on my phone. So
yeah. I'm like, it makes total sense, but like, yeah, something this like it goes back to like why I brought up Flappy Bird is something you wouldn't think would take off
yeah,
always
something
does.
so
Like we've talked about that dog face guy on TikTok
yeah,
making hundreds of thousands of dollars now, and then you look at Flappy Bird, a little thing where you just poke the screen and a little bird goes up and down, catches on to social media hype. What these companies are finding out is if you get something that captures your attention even for a day, then
yeah,
you get social media in on it. Then you don't need to put thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into advertising. Just do it on social media, really. And then like you do the little game demos. I've actually downloaded quite like not a lot of games, but when you use like certain things and it's like, oh hey, I'm going to show you your content, but you see this cool little car, make it go by touching the screen and steer, and then you do that and you're like, oh, that was kind of fun. Then you download whatever game it is, and then that's how they get you. And that's like
yeah. That's
those
what I
indie
do.
games still make good money.
Yeah,
Like it's minimal work for minimum in terms of like making a mobile game isn't easy, but that's the least amount of work you can do in making a game
yeah. It's
to
just like compared to
investment
like
to
building it
return.
on a AAA title. Yeah, that's something
Yeah,
different. But yeah, it's
like you're
just
not
like
making Call of Duty mobile here. It's Fall Guys.
yeah, like this is like Among Us on mobile. It's just
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a fun game. I've never made a game, but it seems pretty easy to make compared to other things where it's mostly just like you're honestly like toggling switches is like what you have to do on mobile. It's like you move with the left side and then you like stare with the right and then you just run around. And then you have
yeah,
these little one person's the bad guy and everyone else has to try to figure out who that person is. And you
yeah,
do tasks to either blow up the ship or like kill everybody and stuff like that. So
yeah. That's as far as I
definitely
got
should
it.
definitely should try to play with everybody. We have enough people in the damn family to have a whole freaking squad.
That's true. That's true.
So
We should talk to him about it. So the worst thing about switching from uh, Sheldon, my Mac, to Eduardo, my vastly superior gaming system, is this next segment that we have. I can't pull up our results of our tests. So if you like being shunned by a pocket Simon Cowell, what you should do is Google Spotify Judgment Music or Judgment AI, either one of those two. It'll pop up because it's trending right now. So there's this who's the company that does it? They have a Patreon and all that stuff. It's by
I
a
didn't see
certain
the thing.
company.
I didn't support their Patreon. I did it because it was free because I'm that person.
Spotify Music Judge. Look at that. So it is by. It's still not telling me. If you Google it, you'll find it. It's not my job to Google it for you people. That's my other podcast. That's so the main thing is it goes through and just like samples like what genre you listen to, who your top artists are, and like tells you, do you share this account with anybody, yes or no? And if you had to choose 3 artists to, in their words, fuck, marry, kill, I chose. So my 3 were Maroon 5, 21 Pilots, and Panic, because Panic at the Disco was awesome. So of those, I'd have to kill Maroon 5 because I like Panic and 21 Pilots more, and I would have to marry. I don't even know which one I would marry. I'd probably marry Panic and fuck with 21 Pilots because I like some of their stuff, but not all of their stuff. Whereas Panic, I love all of his stuff.
I had Billie Eilish, Linkin Park, and I can't remember the third one. Who my fuck, marry, kill was?
Billie Eilish. What
No,
was?
I picked. Oh dang it! I wish I remembered. It said do it fast, and I was like, da, 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 da. I didn't know, but mine didn't. Mine didn't talk to me, but I was reading it, and the little screen grab I got said, "Your Spotify was depressed bops. Nobody put their baby in a corner. Mom's spaghetti bad."
I wish I would have taken
And
a
I
picture of
was
what
like,
mine said with that.
but it says your obsession with Billie Eilish, The Time of My Life from Dirty Dancing soundtrack, and Eminem for that. Based on your listening habits, I can also tell you your Spotify was can be conceived. The earth is flat bad. Adam Lambert sex fantasy bad. Falling asleep standing up bad. Mason jar from the Target bad. Liberal arts hip hop bad. But wait, it gets worse. And did I listen to too much Logic? Holla Back from Gwen Stefani, and Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machines. I don't even listen to Rage Against the Machine. And I was at some of the things that they were making fun of me for. I'm like, I don't even listen to that band. But I also remembered before I did like the family plan on Spotify, I just had my own. I just did the premium for myself, and then Jessica used it too. So it's like my things are all fucked up because she had my Spotify for a few months and would like songs, just the things she would search for her, and I'm like, this test has been corrupt. I'm not this shitty of a person. I
That's
don't listen to
hilarious.
this band. I don't know
So
what some of these are.
apparently I stan these artists, and stan is the new cool hip way to say uh, what's a synonym for stan that I'm trying to make sound cool.
Bitch.
I bitch over these artists. Make any sense? It's stan is like you're obsessed with these artists. Panic, Maroon 5, 21 Pilots, Linkin Park, and Fall Out Boy. No shame. they're they're good. It's good music.
I like their music.
And it
Yeah.
says you're stuck in the early 2010s. I can't say that's not accurate.
That's what like mine was like political, or it said I listened to a lot of pop music from Obama era. I was like, to be fair, music has sucked dick since I was in school.
That's true. It's all well, I like the Little Pump song. How's that little Gucci Gang.
I hate
Gucci
the
Gang, Gucci Gang,
majority. I hate the
Gucci
majority
Gang.
of music that is made that's like on 97.1 and like 92.5.
So right here it is. So because Spotify Wrapped is a thing. I don't like Spotify Wrapped because I listen to music before I go to sleep. Like I listen to like classical music, and iPhones have the timer, so it'll automatically shut off after a certain amount of time. And because I hate sleeping in just complete silence. If you sleep in complete silence, you're a sociopath. That's just
I
how it
didn't
goes.
know that you listen to music while you sleep. I just fall asleep.
Classical music has to be classical or like white noise or like
I
thunder,
can see white
something.
noise. I can see
I'm
like
not
rain
listening to
sound.
fucking WAP while I'm going to bed. I'm saying
Oh,
like if
I
it's
know.
classical music,
That's why
then
I'm like
it makes
I don't
sense to
listen to
work.
music, but I can see white noise because I do like that white noise sound, and I like what's it called, like the thunderstorm thing.
Yeah, well,
There's like
like that stuff. But I also like the
I don't
Like
listen to classical music.
it's not like Beethoven classical music. It's like
Oh, I thought you meant you listen to like
what you would
Bach.
play for like an infant for like the sleeping soundtracks, like that kind of
Oh,
classical where it's like
to like increase your brain.
makes me smarter.
Big brain you.
I'm I'm growing the milk dud. But it's so like I listen to like those kinds of things. So like my Spotify Wrapped is always like yeah, you really like this stuff, and it's like I listen to it when I go to sleep, man. I don't really like, or like it does like the, hey, we picked these six stations specifically for you, and four of them are like, one's a thunderstorm, one's a classical music, and
Yeah, I
then
got
one's
my,
some other random one.
but I
One's
forgot
white noise.
mine. I forgot my rap. My end of year rap. I hate when people post it online. I did it for the longest time, and I started. I'm like, no one cares about my music. I don't care about their music. But it was just like, I do listen to a lot of Kanye, but
Eh.
like not his new stuff. His new stuff is stupid. But like his high school dropout and like the other album after that.
High School Dropout's the goat.
And but like that, it's like the majority of what it's just like listen to it on repeat. But I also listen to Run the Jewels. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a new, they've been rapping for a long time. I found out about them like the beginning of last year. They're definitely a good, I really like their music. They're starting to get popular now, which I'm happy about. But it was like those two, and I'm like, I guess I listen to Kanye a lot. If two people say I listen to a lot of Kanye, I didn't think I did.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, mine. Whenever I do those kinds of things, it's always skewed because it's like, oh, you listen to a lot of like this random thing, and it's like,
Yeah, does
no,
it go off of total
like
played
the
for the
Maroon
year
Five,
or like
the like.
total?
Say again?
I said, does it go off of like the total plays, like since you've had it, or like the
I don't
total
know.
played for like the
I
year?
I'm not
Because
sure
I'm like,
because
of course I'm
I
gonna
don't
listen
feel
to it
like
more.
I've listened to that much Maroon Five. I could be wrong, but I don't do like the radio on Spotify because ever since they changed it from to be able to thumbs up and thumbs down, that's my only critique of Spotify is bring that back because
Yeah, I wish
the
they
radios
had
are
that,
a
or
pre-mixed
like,
playlist, and I don't like that.
yeah, because it's all songs you've already liked. I'm like, I don't
Mm.
want to listen to the same ones. I like them, but I want more like
It's
that.
like I know I like these songs. I could just go to my playlist that already has these songs. I want to
Yeah.
like when you go to radio, it's to listen to new music.
Yeah, I want to find new things. And I have a couple of that I follow. There's like the weekly update that comes out Monday that has like 30 new songs that are just different than what you're used to. And then Friday has like the new songs, like the new singles where it's people that you do know and like. They have new songs, and there's also like new independent artists that have made music. And I think that's how I found Run the Jewels, is through that, like through that.
You know, I'll have to start
So
doing that then. But yeah, so it's I always feel bad because I can never be a part of the whole pop culture because I'm like, man, most of them. But apparently, so I didn't get all mine, but I did download or take a screenshot of the last little bit that says I am 42% basic, so that's good to know. I've got some original music, but most of it is mainstream garbage. Fair. I'm not. I mean, what do you want me to say? I like what I like. I've been stuck in the 2010s, and then it just told me, "Thanks for letting me see your music." I guess. I'm like, fuck you.
so like,
You
I let
asked.
you into my heart, and this is what you do. I guess you did roast me.
I was
Yeah, I mean, that's
saying.
pretty much what mine said. Mine said it compared me to iHeartRadio, and I was like,
Oh,
I pay for premium Spotify, bitch. I don't listen to iHeartRadio.
nobody uses iHeartRadio. Come on,
Yeah,
they
so I'm
tried.
just like, I'm like, you know what's hurt? You fictitious robot.
And let's so you're a big fan of Gary V, right? Gary baseball cards. I like to memorize
Yeah,
how long it'll
I
take
like
me to cut
his.
a lawn. So I'm gonna go and cut everybody's lawn and make them paint it.
Yeah, yeah, I
Good for him.
like his enthusiasm, and I like that he swears because there's not a lot of like famous people that swear. I feel like a lot of them tone themselves back to try to fit like a mold. I do question some of his not his logic, but his like plans. Like you said, he does these random things where he did this segment before COVID where every Saturday he would do a new video where he would just go to like yard sales and buy shit. And he's like, see this car? This is a 1972 Matchback, blah, 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 blah. It's worth $35 on eBay. And then he would buy it for like 70 cents or whatever. And he would do that with like baseball cards and other dumb shit. And he's like, see this box? $800. And then it's like $800. Cha-ching. But it's just like,
How long are you going to
oh,
sit on that
yeah, that's the
$800?
thing. I'm like, I don't want to sit. I don't want to necessarily like flip things super quick because it's not really, that's not a way to make money unless you're doing like real estate kind of things. But it's just like, okay, but I'm going to have this stupid Hot Wheels car in my wherever for like 6 to 8 months maybe before someone even buys it. And there's a good chance I'm going to be selling it less than the $38, but anything more than like 78 cents is still a profit. But it's just like, I just I don't like that part of the like that kind of business. I mean, it's a legit
That's my,
business or
yeah.
where he buys, he's like, well, do you have all your fingers and toes? And this guy's like, yeah. And he's like, can you walk? Can you lift things just fine? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? And he's like, well, take the fucking bus and then go to Facebook ads and then get a free chair and then
Yeah.
come back, take the bus and have the chair. You already have a seat. Take it in the bus, sit down, and then you can sell it for $35. He's like, I don't want you to think this and this. I'm like, that part is smart where it's like, yeah, you got to hustle and grind for it. But it's just like, again, I'm pretty sure Jessica would be upset if I have like 50 different chairs in my house, just like sitting everywhere. And it's like, someone's gonna buy it, Jessica. We just gotta wait.
That's
And
the thing of
there is somebody.
like I understand the get rich quick kind of like not even get rich quick, but like I understand that whole side hustle thing, and the people that want to do it, go ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what they don't tell you is you can buy all these baseball cards. However, you're gonna like, yeah, this card's worth $50, but you have to find someone who's gonna pay $50 for
Yeah.
it. There's not like I'm gonna buy it, give it to this person.
Yeah. There's like, I mean, with some things you can find a little bit easier than other. Like it's going to be easier for you to find like a person that wants a baseball card or like a rookie card from something more than you're going to find someone that wants this Hot Wheel car.
Mm.
It's like but yeah, again, it's just like I'm afraid if I have the card, I'm going to be bending the corners and I'm going to bend it in half and I'm just going to rip it because that's what I do every time I get a card. I just keep bending it until it breaks. Or it's just like, yeah,
The biggest fat, speaking of that tangent, is Pokemon cards, because the new
yeah,
Pokemon cards came out, and the newest thing was like people would buy
yeah. They buy
boxes
like
and
the
boxes
twenty
and
thousand
boxes of
dollars.
Pokemon cards, and they're like, oh well, if you get this one card, it's worth $200 if you sell it online, but you have to again find the person to sell it
Yeah,
to.
you have to go there.
It's not like you go to a bank, hand them the card, and they're like, you win, and then give you two
Is
hundred
that an
dollars.
ultra rare Charizard? Come in, good sir. And then they close all the doors and just like anything you want, take it. Or like on The Simpsons, he's like, only this and take everything. And it's just like, I don't, although his thought process behind like internet related things, like social media, is on point. And I do like listen to what he says, and I do want to incorporate more of what he does, like online things. Like Gary V, he didn't have a wine business. His dad owned one and it did okay. It like was before the internet and he would cold call people. That's how he like got a lot of business. And then he started doing videos on this thing called the internet about 15, 20 years ago. And he would do like daily videos of wine tasting to show you what the wine looked like, what it
Mm.
tasted like, and stuff like that. And people were like, the internet's a fad. It's just gonna go away and no one's gonna use it. And then when it took off, everyone would buy wine from his dad because they knew what it looked like. They had like a reputation, not reputation. They had like a back and forth because they knew the person, not like physically, but it's like I'm gonna buy for him because he does all this thing on wine. So I'm assuming he's a wine guy,
Mhm.
and
And you
that's
could be
how.
like, this tastes like that, and then like lay out the flavor chart.
Yeah, and he's just like, these are the other wines that taste a lot like this one, and if you like this, you're gonna like. And it just like he does a lot of stuff like that, or like free promotion where it's like if you have something worth equal value that I need, I will pay you or I'll give you like money and the shout out to things like that. It's just like there's a lot of people that have content worth paying for that don't have an audience because how big is the internet? How many people have Instagram accounts? Like it's just trying to find the best person in this field is going to be very difficult. But if someone like DMs him and it's like, I'm the world's greatest freelance artist, and he draws you
Yeah.
like this amazing picture in 5 minutes, it's like, okay, I'll take it, and then I'll give you a shout out.
Yeah.
And he does stuff like that. So I do believe in that part of his stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah.
the main reason is he is well known for also talking about his mistakes. And one of his biggest
Yes.
mistakes is he could have invested in Uber for $25,000 in the first couple rounds of investment, when it was literally just guys with an idea saying, this is our platform, this is the programming where we still have to write, but if you want in, we just need startup funding.
Well, at the
And
time, it just sounded weird.
well, back way, it was like 2000 and probably 10, maybe a little bit
It was like
earlier.
right after I graduated, so it had to been 2010 to like 2012 ish.
Yeah, so it's like around that time when like iPhones were rolling out and people started understanding what the technology could potentially be used for. And so the amount of equity he could have got for 25 grand back then would have been worth, like, I think he said north of $200 million.
Yeah.
And just sheer market value, because Uber's valued at an insane amount of money. And the reason is I've never made like a mistake like that because I don't have the money to make a mistake like that. The biggest mistake I made was like Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin when it was at like 10,000 a coin, and like if you do it on like Cash App, you can put like $10 in. So I put like $20 in, and I made like $10, and I could have made an extra $10 if I would have left it when it hit 20. But that's like, crap, $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that. That's
30 minutes of work.
Yeah, like that's pretty much my biggest mess
I don't
up.
even
But
have that. I have mine's like, I shouldn't have bought this game. It sucks.
yeah,
It's just like
it's like
there's 60
that's
bucks wasted.
normal people's
Yeah,
things. But
that's like my thing.
so for the longest time with Apple, they talked about an Apple car. And it's very interesting that I never thought they were serious about it, and now they're talking that they're serious about it. I still don't believe it, because that doesn't make any sense.
They might have like a there's rumors that it's gonna come out in like 2025 maybe.
If
But
they were serious about it, they would have fast tracked it, because here's the reason. So Elon Musk actually approached Tim Cook, Apple CEO, in 2018 with the possibility of Apple acquiring all of Tesla, and they would have sold it at an eighth of its value that it is today. Because Tesla is very interesting, because there's only two car companies that have never needed a bailout, and that's Ford and Tesla. So that's really crazy if you think about it, because every other major car company has needed a bailout in some way, form, or another. And the only two to not completely fold were Ford and Tesla. So if Apple really was serious about making a car, I don't know why they would. It's fun to like them to make mock-ups and tease it kind of thing for stock prices. It doesn't, because if they were actually serious about it, and then Elon Musk comes up to you and says, hey, so we're actually struggling. If you guys want to acquire it, we'll keep doing our own thing. You just fund us. And this is an Apple car. Well, we can still call it Tesla or whatever. But Tim Cook didn't even give Elon the time of day.
Yeah, it's just like,
you know how cool that would have been if Tesla would have been like Tesla, exactly what it is now, but with Apple's funding, so everybody could actually get their cars on time. Because Tesla does a modified Ponzi scheme, as bad as that sounds. So what they do is they make cars, and then right before they run out of money, they'll take in pre-orders. So like when they came out with the Model X, then they came out with the Model X, and then they used Model X money, or they announced a Roadster. Then when the Roadster came, when people would have to pay for the Roadster in full, they would use all that money to build the Model X. And then when it came time to build the first Roadsters, they announced a Model Y, which would be the SUV, I believe. I think that's the smaller SUV, and the X is the bigger SUV, because the
I think
S
so.
in Sam is the sedan.
The S is the sedan, X is that, and then the Y is the new mini sedan.
Yeah,
right?
It's their crossover.
Yeah.
So that, and then now they have the Model 3, which is the one that's like Everybody can
It's
afford
the
Model 3.
everyman car.
It's literally $25,000. Sounds like a lot. That's the price
It's
of,
really
of a
not.
regular new car. 25,000, unless you want a Hyundai.
Yeah, like it's pretty cheap for what I mean. You are getting a very basic
You're getting
car,
a
but at
basic,
the
but it's
same time, it's
still
just like
it's a basic premium. So because it's leather, it has
you'll
the
get the
moonroof,
things,
I
all the
believe,
Tesla stuff,
and
but it won't
it has
be.
the capability for self-driving if you pay the extra, and you can pay that extra at
Yeah,
any time. Is the
but
other
you do
crazy
worry
part.
about the price going up because the
Yeah.
price does go up randomly.
So it's like you're better off just buying it now and just being
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I'll pay for the
Well, I feel
whatever
like
you
that's
can.
part of the gimmick of
Yeah,
buying like a Tesla is having the autonomous mode. It's just like you buy a Tesla to get the autonomous mode. Why? I can get it
that's kind
later,
of
but
how
it's
I
just
would
like,
feel. I'd rather just get a different electric
why?
car for a lot
Yeah.
less.
I'm like, I'd rather just get like a Prius or like a
Get a
Leaf if
Leaf.
I don't care about that for, yeah, I don't know. Um, I I don't think Apple's too serious about it. I mean, they probably like did the thing to like, ooh, we're gonna do it, but it's just
Hmm.
like they had their chance, they missed it. Building phones and laptops is completely different than building an electric car. I
Ask
mean,
Elon.
yeah, Elon is like big brain. I mean, my phone is awesome. I love my iPhone, but it's just like I don't expect my iPhone to do a lot more than it's capable of because I don't
Hmm.
even use Siri. Siri is just an idiot
Well,
on
it's
my
like I
phone,
mean,
and
to
it's just
to think like not to like shit on Tim Cook because he's obviously a smart man to run Apple and he brought him to $1 trillion value. And like not to shit on him, but Elon Musk is one of the smartest men to ever walk the earth.
yeah, he's like the
He
smartest
figured
person.
out a way to shoot a rocket into space and have the fuel cells float back down.
Yeah, it's just he does a
Like
lot of cool shit.
I don't even
And like I
understand
would put
how
my
that
money on Tesla.
he launched a roadster to Mars.
Yeah, it's just I mean I don't. It was just I was going through some of the stuff with the video, and he was talking about this tweet he made a long time ago, and he's like, the people that fail to make it to Tesla work at Apple. It was just like he's like, I'm sorry. It's just like we need he himself has like a business like a great business mind to begin with. He's like Gary, but like a bajillion times higher IQ stuff, but it's like he really didn't go to school that much.
Hmm.
He has the ideas, and then he comes up with the crowd, like the money needed, and then he hires eggheads to do his job. Where it's just like, it's cool you go to school because I need eggheads like you to give me more money. He's just like, I want to make PayPal or whatever business currency. What one did he make PayPal?
I want to say he did.
Okay, he made that thing like PayPal or
I
PayPal, and
want to
it's
say
like,
that's
okay,
first how he like launched
yeah.
into his
And then
notoriety.
yeah, and then he made the Boring Company, which is like they
That's
sell
so
weird,
cool.
cool shit that I want.
And that's like he's like the Boring Company is another company that I own, and we just do whatever random thought that comes into my
yeah, it's
mind.
just like
Like right
some
now,
cool.
they're the ones that are drilling holes under in like certain parts of California
Oh yeah, they're doing those
to test
underground
their
tunnels.
the high speed railroad. That
Yeah,
he's like, well, if you suck all the air out, you can actually zoom these at 150 miles an hour underground. People are like, what about earthquakes? He's like, well, see, underground is the safest
earthquakes
place to
are
be
above.
because
Yeah,
everything shifts up top, not where
yeah,
we're gonna dig the hole. And it's like,
yeah.
wow,
He's just
Elon, you're really smart.
yeah. I was watching this video with him before we get too far off the tangent, but he was like talking to some investors in China, and he's like, "Well, how would you fix China's energy problem? Because we're one of the biggest consumers of like electronics because we have the world's largest not economy, but the world's largest population." And he's just like stood there for 2 seconds, cut down all the marshy fields you have, and replace them with Tesla solar, and you will fund and you will have enough power to power your whole country, your whole continent. And they were just, and it was just crazy. Just like he's like, I can guarantee it. He's like, we would even take that much of it.
Yeah,
And
it's
it was just
great.
like,
Like the things that he thinks of that actually work. Like it's one thing to think of an idea and be like, yeah, logically or like
yeah,
theoretically this works, and then the amount of ideas that he has that go from theory to real world logistics is just insane. Like
yeah, like
he started with the Tesla car, or when he started the whole car thing, he started with Tesla cars, and now he makes the all the way from like cars to his new truck to semis. He's pushing his
yeah,
semis for next year.
Yeah, he has those autonomous ones at Walmart. It's like, or that Walmart bought a couple to like future trans like cargo transportation, that kind of stuff. But like he even has this new company that he's rumored to be starting, or it's like floating around. It's like Project X or something like that. But it's the whole purpose is like extending human civilization.
Oh
And
yeah, he
he's
also has
like
SpaceX.
not SpaceX. It's like a
No, I
different
know,
one.
but we were
Oh,
listing
okay.
Tesla,
Yeah.
Boring Company, and
Yeah. No,
SpaceX. He has three
yeah,
companies that he's the CEO of all.
yeah. So it's just
No, he's
yeah.
totally four.
And then that other one that like that Project X or whatever, it's like the
Which
end of
is
the world.
smart
Yeah.
because there's reports that are by the end of the 2020s, the U.S. is wanting to establish a base on the moon.
Yeah.
And what better way to do that than taking it away from the public sector where our taxes have to pay for it and tell Elon, hey, do you want to do this?
Can you
And he's
make
like,
this happen for us?
and
He's just like,
that's essentially what he's
yeah,
saying. And I would absolutely be like, yeah, you should open that up to private companies. And then when they figure it out, then you can pay them for it. Because what
yeah,
I don't want is my taxes to be wasted. I
yeah.
want
Like you're
them to
literally
do
going
it.
to be burning.
Yeah, I'm
You're
like, I
literally
want
just
them
wasting
to
my
do it
money.
and
Yeah.
be and not
Yeah.
that way they won't waste as much money.
Yeah.
Like they're wasting their own money because if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So it's like, okay, well, you do it, and if it works, we can buy it from you. Easy peasy.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just like, although I would like it to happen, so I can have that stupid remark be like, Apple has Windows in it, and then that's it. The stupid joke that's just like funny.
Yeah, it's so that I mean that's what tells me that Apple's actually not very serious about
Yeah,
making
and like
cars
they,
because yeah, in 2018 they knew that Tesla was going to withstand because that's
yeah,
after the whole everything was folding, all these
everything
companies
was
were
just
folding
yeah,
in on each other. That's well after Tesla was still chugging forward, and now
yeah. I don't.
they're worth so much money. It's
Yeah, and I mean,
gross.
a lot of stuff goes into. I mean, we already said it, but like, there's a lot of things that go into it. Other companies are so far behind. Like, I was also watching videos about that, like, talk about this too, where it's like Elon would try other electric cars. Like, they had the like the little badge covered, but you can obviously see it's like a Leaf
Yeah,
or a
or a Volt,
Prius and stuff like that. And it's like, he's like, the styling is kind of ugly. Why would you
which
make it
is
like
true.
this? And he's like, he was talking about the leaf, and he's like, why is it shaped like this? It's like the stupid light bulb. And he's like, that's dumb. Whatever. He gets inside and he's like, the interior kind of sucks. Why is this here? Does it still look like a car? He's like, but it's not a car, it's an electric car. If you want an electric car, it needs to look different. And it's just he's already thinking differently. And it's
Which
just
is smart because it's like, yeah, I like the Tesla's thing of like it's on the dash, like
yeah,
older cars had it, like older SUVs mainly
yeah,
had it on the dash of like 90s SUVs had it on the dash where
yeah.
you
Just
would
like
pull
clink
it
clink.
down the pernal.
Yeah. But it was just like, okay, they're just like, but also it comes down to is like, why is it so slow? It's electric car, and he's like, I make electric cars, they're not slow. And he's like, is there
Electric cars are
anything
so
different that it offers? He's like, this is like the kind of the same price of what this one is, and it has more features. Why would you do it like this? Is like, it's a cool concept car, and they're like, it's in production. He's like, shit, okay.
Well,
So I
that's the
mean,
thing
it's just like,
of like if you're not going to go in all the way, you might as well.
yeah,
As bad as it sounds, if you're
like
not going to go in
just
all the way and get the like, even if you get a Model 3, get a base Model 3, but spring for the full autonomous for the extra 8,
yeah,
then it's like to me that makes more sense. But only get it if you know you're not going to sell it. In
yeah.
terms of like, um, no, like people try to resell their Teslas and they don't sell all that well. Like they still sell well, but they
Yeah,
lose a
they
lot
sell. Yeah, I'm
because
like, I'm assuming it's just it's a new
it's
market,
a
and
car well
there's no promise.
a gasoline car would have more of a resale value because there's a lot more people that'll work on it,
Yeah,
and you know like how good an engine is by a certain manufacturer, whereas like
yeah.
electric
Like I
cars
know there's like a promise.
you just
Tesla
don't know
hasn't
because
been
they're still new.
around for 50 years. We don't
Yeah,
exactly know how well. I mean, there's Teslas that they're saying they made the million mile mark, but it's like, okay, well, we've had diesels go way past that,
yeah.
and it's just like, I don't want to put money. I'm kind of sketched out putting my money into something that I don't really know too much
Well, a
about.
lot
So
of people just buy it and they can't afford it and they take it back. It's like you're going to lose so much money because you're
yeah,
going to sell it back to like even if you sell it back to Tesla, then it's like, or yeah, if you sell it back to Tesla, and it's like, okay, well, we can only give you like half what it's worth because we have to again make money on this car. So We'll pay
Yeah.
you
So it's just
a
like,
lot less than what than we're gonna give you.
yeah. So it's just like, yeah, if you're gonna make an electric car, it's kind of too late unless you jump in the bandwagon and like buy Tesla stock or ask Elon if he can take your money and put your name on the thing. Uh, yeah, I mean Porsche has theirs. Porsche said that theirs is okay. I mean, I've heard theirs is okay. Their car looks cool, but it's kind of own proprietary thing's kind of stupid. Nissan's very slow. Yaris is really slow too. So it's just like those are like the big. I mean, we talked about a couple of concept ones before. We talked about that like Blade Runner-ish one from like I think it was Hyundai
Oh yeah,
beginning of
we
the
did
year
talk about that.
that had like a mini, like a cut in half steering wheel, but
Didn't like
that
it.
was
I remember not liking it.
yeah, and I'm like that's kind of cool for like a movie, but practicality is just like it
Like
needs to
driving
be a
a
wheel
it's like driving a
because
Ford GT everywhere.
yeah,
Why?
when you turn, it needs to also turn with it. It's just well, my there's no just I don't know
Yeah,
unless it
that's
uses your brain, but then I don't want something using my to hack my brain. I mean, it's not the best, but it's all I got, and I don't want you to.
I don't want what do they call it? Trojan horse in my brain.
Yeah, I don't want you to break my brain, please.
Well, we actually have to get to our interview with the champ. So, let us know what you thought of the new form of the show as far as the name, theme, music. Go ahead and follow me on all my platforms, Matt Man SLC or Juice Pack Matt. New show name. I'm still too lazy. Juicebox Tony for this guy. See if I can. Oh, Juicebox Tony for this guy. And yeah, let us know how you think the interview goes, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Wait, don't hang up. We have to do my can you guess it?
Oh, why wouldn't you stop me before all that?
I totally forgot about it.
You were the worst. All right. My apologies. We're not leaving for that interview yet. You are going to have to wait
Just
on
yet.
hold. Josh.
Okay.
So can you guess it? What the hell was the can you guess
Can
it?
you guess it? It was it they're just as dumb as us?
They're just as dumb as we are.
Okay. Can you guess it?
I'm going to guess it has to do with monkeys.
No. We kind of during our little tangent with Elon, we brought it up slightly. That's all I can give you.
You brought it up slightly.
When I say it, it'll hit you like a sack of potatoes.
So that's a shitty hint. Let's see. So they're just as bad as we were talking about Elon Musk. Do they have to do with smart people?
Yes.
Is it
Well, smart.
did a smart person do something really stupid that they shouldn't have done?
Yes, except you have to remove people.
Who did the stupid thing? Now I have to know. I don't know who did something stupid.
There's new theories coming out about intelligent life in the universe. And the new theory is that they lived way before us and that they killed themselves trying to further technological advancements. And I was reading into the article and it's just like it makes sense. He's like, because we find things in space that we can't explain, like the eggheads can't figure out what it does, where there's like sounds coming from space and stuff like that. And they could have had their own ecosystem shooting out into the abyss, trying to find other life. But it's just trying to expand into space or expand technological advancements. They end up killing themselves and killing their entire race, which I'm just like, that's stupid. Wait a minute, the dinosaurs. I mean, dinosaurs. I don't think they were smart, but it's just like they
That's
were
not fair. The
completely.
asteroid killed them.
That was like it could be the same thing though. It's just like, huh?
You know, Neil deGrasse Tyson did say that there's no way if we knew if we got a heads up that wasn't at least like a couple years in advance of an asteroid hurling towards Earth, there's nothing we can do to stop it.
Yeah, so it's just like it makes sense because it's just like I said, dinosaurs were a completely different type of species than us. They were
That's
giant monsters, and they wiped everything out, and then it started over again. So it's
I
just
could
like
definitely see it being like other places have had a world war in like
Yeah.
their terms of world
Yeah.
war, and they end up
That's what
nuking themselves to
yeah,
death.
that's what I'm talking about. Like the next war is probably going to end up destroying everything on the planet because everyone has their own nukes. But it's just like, have you watched Prometheus?
No.
Oh, it's the prequels to the Alien movies. They're really good. I don't know if you like the actual Alien ones, but space exploration. They land and they're like, this is weird. They look just like us. Like the things around them, like they look like humans, like humanoid type people, and they're just like wandering around. That's where they've come across the first alien, like the little egg face sucker things. But it's just like they were alive once, but the aliens came and they took over everything. And it's just like how that folded out. And it's just, again, if we progress far enough in our lifetime or our children's lifetime or grandkids, we go to another planet, we can find ruins of what once was. I mean, we're still finding things about how Greece was before Pompeii happened. And that's on our planet.
That's
and it's
true.
like underwater, we still haven't explained or explored that much underwater. Every civilization has some sort of reference to like Atlantis. Everyone assumed that it was like mermaids and shit like that, but what if it isn't? What if it was like the people, like the Disney version of it, where it was just an advanced civilization that just like got sucked underwater? I don't know. It was just a quick little insightful thought, and I'm just like, I didn't need to read this late at night because now I'm going to be thinking about it longer than I should.
Well, now you guys get to think about it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So let me know what you guys think. I mean, they did say, I forgot how old they said the galaxy is, but they said we came around on the time scale of like 5.5 billion years later than when they think life started, like other extraterrestrial life. So it's like, again, billions of years have happened since they could have died. I'm like, we have pyramids that have been up for a millennia. The closest we would find would be something like that.
And again, they say that the universe expands like an insane amount of our reference miles, or no, they use light years. So and X amount of light years a day.
Yeah, so it was just like trying to find that, and there's new things happening, new things closing all the time. So it's pretty cool, but also makes me feel bad because I'm very insignificant. It's just like, wow,
don't feel bad. You have a podcast.
That's true. We have Soulcast, and that's what we need to do. We need to put first season on a little thumb drive, shoot it into space. And that's it. And then some alien be like, and they like plug it in, and they're just like,
we will be their gods.
Yeah, and they come to us, and they're just like, we want Soul Talk. And they're just like, what? This is like 3049. What are you talking about?
And then we're going to be as easily digestible as Spin City.
There you go. It'd be so good. But yeah. So yeah, now we can have our interview with Josh.
Let us know how you're going to like the interview, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Okay, goodbye.
Those special websites are my forte. Speaking of which, did you guys hear about the Pornhub scrub?
Yes.
The what?
So Pornhub got busted with having some minors or people that didn't know they were being filmed in tapes. And like if you searched it a certain way, so like if you searched like without spaces and put like young teen whatever without spaces, they found a way, or these perverts found a way to do a subsection to have like inappropriate, illegal things on Pornhub, and Pornhub didn't know.
Wow.
That's how much Pornhub has. Think about how much Pornhub has. They still make more porn every day.
That's true. Well, the problem is their They have marketing, so you think they're like a legit business because like they have during the beginning of the quarantine, they had like the 30 days free, stay home and wash your hands. That was their whole like
Yeah.
their whole thing. But it was just like you don't have to be verified to upload content, and there's really no repercussions because there's so many people uploading stuff at the same time. There's no way they can filter all of it. That's the problem with having this free open source of uploading whatever you want, because I mean, taking and getting nudes is easier than it has ever been.
That's true. That's true.
I'm not condoning their actions at all. I'm just like,
it sounds like Tony's condoning their actions. Let's just leave it at that
no,
and introduce our guest. We have the
It's
champ. The champ is here. Tony, next segment. The champ is here. Let's welcome in our cousin Josh. So, what's the technical title of your belt?
This is the Devotion Heavyweight Championship.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, is that America or Africa or South America?
It's all of it's Pangea.
Yes, let's go with that.
So how heavy is that belt that you have?
It's about 15 pounds.
Do you wear it like a girdle?
I do.
Do you wear it other places, like outside of a ring?
Yes. Yesterday, I wore it to the family Christmas party. Where else have I worn it? I wear it to the gym. Bring it with me to the gym.
Tight.
What is it a specific wrestling gym?
Nope. It's just EOS.
Like, no, it's just
Quarterly
awesome.
golds.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Do you get a lot of compliments on it or a lot of questions about it? Like, so when you walk in, do you have it over your shoulder or girdle mode?
Depends on my mood. Most of the time, it's girdle mode. Just easier to carry.
Yeah, I mean, if I wore it, I would I would wear it however the hell I'd want. I'd be like, sometimes it's the girdle, sometimes it's over my shoulder, sometimes it's over my forehead. I'd be like, you ready to throw down?
It's Peyton Manning's bandana.
I mean, it's big enough that he could wear it as one, man, but I'll wear it as a necklace sometimes. This just depends on my mood.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So have you got any newfound fame with winning your first I don't know what you call that, first
wrestling championship title?
First wrestling championship title?
Not really. Like, people notice when you wear something this big and this gaudy, you know what I mean? But next to that, it's a couple more pictures here and there at shows, or one time at the gym. Actually, it was yesterday at the gym. They were like, "Hey, could I take a picture with you and your belt? I'm a wrestling fan." And I was like, "Well, come to a show and we'll see if they show up."
Yeah.
So if you guys are,
I wish $5.
If you guys are wondering what kind of wrestling this is, I have a little clip queued up that I can go into. Let me just bloop, 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 and boom.
Bloop, 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 bam, bam.
All right.
Hey, it's my boy.
Boom! Finger gun in the keister. There he goes.
Brown bomber strikes again.
What's gonna happen?
Man, you guys really dug deep for these, huh?
Not only did we dig deep for it, Tony was there. So we can play as long of this clip as we want. You can't flag us for this one.
That's true.
So in just a second here. So who's the big guy that just got jumped off?
Congratulations, Josh, on your debut, but you did good.
So that's the kind of wrestling that happens. I thought I had
it on that screen cap. Come on.
So that's definitely the kind of wrestling that goes on. How long have you been doing this? Because this was taken about, what would you say, Tony, like 2-3 years ago?
This is like 2 years ago, I think. Before Isaiah got his perm.
That was 2 years ago. That was actually, I think that was the Heartbreak Showdown.
What's the date on there, Matt?
I don't know. Maybe this will date it, because I did have a question about that. It's gonna be, when did you lose this look? Not Tony. This look. When did you lose the Joker mask and the hair? Do you always have your hair down?
Well,
and do you specifically hit white people, since we're in the culture war?
Well, there's not a lot of Latin wrestlers that don't wear masks. So
True.
I
Luchadors.
mean,
What
not
is
in
one
Utah,
Latin wrestler
anyways.
that doesn't wear a mask?
Eddie Guerrero didn't wear a mask. Cain Velasquez.
I don't know. I
Cain
just assume they all wear
Velasquez.
masks.
Yeah, right.
I would wear a mask.
But like the mask is lucha, which is a very
Yeah.
specific type of wrestling, very fast paced, and
Is it
I love
exactly how
watching.
it's? Is it exactly how it's depicted in Nacho Libre?
No.
No.
No, Nacho Libre is so much slower than actual luchas.
So is the luchador wrestling like a mix between like the WWE style and actual wrestling? It's like they meet in the middle.
Yes and no. Lucha's a lot more flashy, a lot more like, let's see how many moves we can get in like a 30-second window.
Okay.
As to where WWE is very like, if you watch Hulk Hogan wrestle, it's I'm going to hit you once and then I'm going to wait 3 seconds and then I'm going to hit you again. It's very much frame by frame.
That makes sense. That's good to know.
Yeah, I was always wondering, but it seems like it's going to be 2 years old here in the next couple. It says March, so we're already in December, so
God,
it's 2 years old.
That is so long. Well, but
so it says, so when did you join this? When did you join this wrestling? Is it a club?
How did this all come about?
Is it a club or a team?
It's a company, like it's a federation. It's its own federation. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So how did you find out about this? Like,
yes.
How did this all come about?
So I found a school. I want to say it was when I was 21, 22, so 6-7 years ago, and I started wrestling. But back then I was like super out of shape. Like I was 220 pounds on a 5'5" frame, and I kept getting hurt. And I decided, you know what? I'm not going to do this right now. So fast forward to 2 years ago, I was just on Facebook, and my friend Manny Lemons had posted a little picture of, hey, we got this new company, we got this new school, hit Manny up for training times and come on down and train. And I was like, I've been working out. I hit my weight goal. Let's see if I can actually do this. And the rest is history, I guess.
That's cool.
When you first started, was it exactly like you pictured it would be, or what are some things that you, as a kid, thought it would be to be in an organization that you're like, oh, this is actually vastly different from the way I had it in my head?
Well, you think you work out and you think, okay, I can do this. This is fine. At the time I could run like a 5-minute mile, and I was lifting pretty good. And I thought, I'm in shape for this. And then I actually got in the ring, and, you start hitting those ropes, you start learning how to take falls, and it's a whole different ball game. And that's what people don't understand. They're like, oh, it's a stage sport. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. But you have to be like next level fit to do this.
Damn. Yeah. I didn't think about it like that. I was just like, while working at my last job at FedEx, it's like, you have to be FedEx fit. And when you see people at FedEx, when they're FedEx fit, they look stocky and like slow. But actually, it's just a lot of, yeah, like you're saying.
Look at how many mattresses I can carry.
Yeah, like I don't look like I'm that strong, but I can carry, or I can pull the whole back half of the belt that's mostly purples. I could be loading like 50 purples at a time within like 5 minutes of each other. So it's not like it doesn't sound like much until you think of it's like 150 pounds or whatever. And it's just like you said, it's just you're training and you can move and exercise yourself to a certain point where it's like you can do this in this order. But then when you kind of get thrown out of your element, and like you're moving around and you're actually talking and playing with and working off the next person, you're breathing more, you're moving more than you think you would. So your body's not used to that level of like breathing, I guess, is what it just getting gas out from that, and just honestly just being out of shape too, because I don't think I could do it. I mean, I see them do it and I'm like, that sounds cool, but dude, I might have a heart attack and kill over.
Yeah.
So
it definitely felt like that too.
How is your training differed from, like, I assume you have to train differently for like when you're actually practicing for the actual ring, and then outside to just be like physically fit enough to like lift things, etc. So what's the, when you lift weights on, say, like an off cycle or off season, what kind of things do you focus on? Do you focus on more power or more like a long distance running, so like longer than 3 miles, and or do you do like more sprints to get a bigger gas tank?
I mean, when I'm in the gym, I'm just hitting weights mostly, separate upper, bottoms, full bodies, stuff like that. It's when I'm actually at training at Devotion, that's where I get my ring cardio in. And we have this drill called the 5-minute drill, where you have to throw yourself from the apron to the inside of the ring 5 times, run to the opposite corner, jump, and do what's called an up and over. So you run to the corner, you grab onto the rope, you jump, push yourself off of that rope as if somebody were coming at you and you were trying to get over them. Do that 5 times, 5 rolls with like 5 front rolls, 5 back rolls, 5 shoulder rolls, and you got to go for distance on those. Face bump, back bump, flip bump, and then a Japanese style bump, which is just getting up higher and then landing. And you have to do that all within a minute.
That sounds intense. I'm just like trying to picture my fictitious self doing it without falling and without crying. And I'm just like, I made it past the first bump, I think, and then I either just gassed out and I'm done. So yeah, that's intense. Have you noticed like eating? Are you eating things differently now? Just like you hear athletes like, oh, Tom Brady doesn't eat tomatoes because they're anti-inflammatory and
Tyson
stuff like
Fury
that.
eats whatever he wants, and he's
and it's like Michael Phelps ate like 20 bajillion calories during the Olympics. So have you just like, do you still eat whatever you want for the love tank and still just like kick ass, or are you doing like eating all kinds of different things to like make sure your body doesn't get hurt and that kind of stuff? I feel
you do my version of a Japanese rail where you chop up a squid and snort it?
I thought you were going to say like go to all you can eat buffet and just like fit as many sushi rolls.
What I do is I go to all you can eat sushi places. I put my mouth on the table and like Pac-Man, just slide them all in.
They have the little conveyor belts with the different foods, and you're just you're kind of deep throat.
No, I've been trying to pack on muscle. So of course I've been like eating more calories, more lean protein, throw some decent carbs in there, healthy fats. But I mean, it's like wrestling is very much a look business. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If I were a guy like, I don't know, there was one dude back in the early days of WWF named Typhoon. And that was just a big boy. Like you could tell like, okay, this dude's strong, but at the same time, like he had a gut on him. He had like what do they call them? The flappy arms and all that.
Bingo arm.
But yeah.
I haven't heard that for a long time.
Relief Society arms. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
That's funny. Utah joke.
Utah jokes.
It's I mean, how do you craft? Do you still have the same persona when you first started? And if not, how do you undergo like a persona change? Like, do you fake die and then you come back and you're like, just kidding, costume change?
Bitch. Yeah, reincarnated.
I mean,
B-side.
No, that actually goes up to the writing. So like when you guys came in that clip with the long hair and the god awful knee-high candy cane Converse was like, it was just my idea of like how I saw myself as a wrestler. I wanted to be like a Joker-esque wrestler. And eventually I just got paired with a veteran who's like, all right, this is your gimmick now. And it should be, if the writing's done right, because it is a written show, right? If it's done right, it's a gradual change. So I didn't just show up as like this mob boss one day. It was a slow transformation from killer clown to hired gun to psychotic to a mob boss. And it took 2 years to get from that to where I am now.
Gotcha. How many of your colleagues have also went through the same transformation? Because I remember there was the Johnny Lemons, that guy, and then there was that Asian guy, the Brown Bomber, and there was those missionary guys, and there was that big dude with the big staff that I took a picture with. That I was like, I wanted to see him eat chicken wings. But I don't.
John Baptist, yeah.
I don't know how many of them like have changed, or if they have the same.
Also, how many chicken wings can he eat?
I've honestly never seen Big John eat, so I can't tell you.
I just want to see him throw back some like buckets of chicken wings and giant liters of like beer. That's all I want. I just want to watch that.
I want him to Andre the Giant
it. Bro, there's no doubt in my mind that he actually could.
Yeah, or like throw Isaiah. I would pay him $20 to throw Isaiah.
I mean, that'd make for good TV. Giant yeets a kid.
Yeah, that'd be great. I see nothing wrong with this. We all get something out of this.
So how many of your friends did have to undergo, or so?
Oh yeah, back to the original question.
Yeah, so did they? Let's go with that question. How many of your friends actually did undergo the gradual change?
Right now, since the 2 years I've been doing this, I'd just say 3 of them, maybe 4. Like the Brother Smith are no longer a thing. Tombstone Jesus is now Tombstone Judas.
Ironic.
Just right.
Is that because of choice, or like the writers like, we can't have this because we're getting more? We need more, not diversity, but we need something different that's not so. Okay, we're in Utah. You guys are missionary brothers wrestlers. That's your thing.
That's kind of how it ended up happening with the Brother Smith. It was like, because they are a very popular gimmick, not just in devotion, but across wrestling.
Yeah, they're popular. I mean, they have a musical in like New York with the missionaries.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like you kind of steal off of, not, I can't say steal, but you imitate pop culture, and that's what they did. And they went to Impact, which is another big wrestling company, and they did a tryout. And one of the bookers there, his name's D'Lo Brown. He's a former WWE guy. He actually loves the Brother Smith. He thinks they're great. And it's just honing their craft. So that way, if they ever go back to try out, it's maybe next time, maybe they'll get signed.
Yeah. How many, well, since you brought that up, how many scouts are there? Or do you know that scouts come to like watch you when there's WWE, when they like want to bring on new people? They don't just like pick up someone off the streets. They go to these events. Is there something they're looking for? Like persona wise, or just like, is it, I like the cut of your jib, LDS guys, I want you in. And then
that's kind of how it seems to go. Like, I've never gotten a tryout. I did go do some extra work for Ring of Honor, which is another world-renowned wrestling company. You have people from in WWE that came from Ring of Honor right now, and that's basically how it goes. Is like, you find out the WWE's coming into town, you send somebody an email, or somebody reaches out to them like, hey, I got this guy from Utah, or I got this guy from New Mexico that he's really good. put them on. And if they need you, they'll use you. Like most of the time it's dark matches or house shows where you're not on TV, but you're in there with somebody who can tell, like, this guy knows what he's doing, or this girl, like, just needs to tweak this a little bit or do that. And then from there, you could possibly get a tryout. You could actually get signed. It just depends on the person.
Okay. Do you, how did the tryouts work? Do you know? Like, did your friend tell you how they go down? Is it just like they have just a random dude that's like, okay, do your set on Dave. And then Dave's just sitting there like, I'm ready.
No. So the tryouts are actually kind of ran like a training. So you'll get paired with somebody, and then you two will do a match. And normally, I don't know if they call it on the fly, which is very common in wrestling nowadays, or if you have time to actually plan it, but they'll say, like, give us 5 minutes. And you'll go in there with whoever you're partnered with. You'll do a 5-minute match. They'll critique you, and they'll basically write down what they liked, what they didn't like, and go from there.
You're essentially doing like improv.
Yes.
Interesting. So,
Yeah.
like it. So, if you do that, like, so when you got into Devotion, did you have to do this process?
No. So when I got in Devotion, they were like, all right, we're going to teach you the basics, kind of go from there on what you know, what you can pick up. And there's a training system in place that you learn how to roll. Then you learn how to bump. Then you learn how to do this. Then you start learning the more difficult stuff, which is like ring psychology. Like how are you going to get the fans to hate you? How are you going to get the fans to like you? Stuff like that.
Insult their mother.
Insult, yeah, that's a go-to, yeah.
Play the race card.
Play no.
Have you guys had, since you guys do it so much off of pop culture, have you guys had like a Karen yet?
You know, there was one back in the day. This was before Karen was a thing, and her name was Vicky Guerrero. But she's a legend now. Her husband's a legend, and she like played that part to a T, and it was amazing. It was basically, I'm going to whine and complain about everything that I can, and I'm going to yell and scream. And I mean, her catchphrase for the longest time was "excuse me." And it sounded like nails being dragged on the chalkboard when she said it, bro. It was next level.
I picture the stiff arm when she does that. They're just bouncing. You're bumping off the ring. Excuse me?
Yeah. No cutsies.
No cutsies.
So what is the worst injury you've gotten in training?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Ooh. I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I haven't gotten too injured. I did bang my head pretty hard against a turnbuckle one time and gave myself a concussion. And you bring in some of these new guys and they don't know what they're doing, and they hit you in the dick from time to time. So I do get hit in the dick pretty often.
Could you wear
anything that happens afterwards, like motivation for them to not hit you in the dick? I know they're just like, I know it's on accident, but it's like, okay, every time you hit someone in the dick, you have to pay $5 or you have to buy everyone a round of beer.
So what comes up on those, like if you do something, like first time's forgivable, second time's kind of like you get a warning. Everyone gets one.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone gets a free one. Second time you get a warning, and then I kind of do like the 3-strike system, where if you hit me in the dick 3 times, I'm going to give you what's called a receipt, and I'm just going to lay into you at least 1 shot.
That's fair.
Whether it be a chop, whether it be a slap, something like that.
If you hit me 3 times in the dick, I'll buy you dinner.
Ooh, good to know.
That's funny. How many people are in your whole wrestling division? Because you played in Colorado, and you've like, how many states have you played in?
I've done Colorado, New Mexico, and that's pretty much it. I've done multiple cities or multiple companies in Colorado though, and New
So
Mexico.
Is it like they borrow you kind of thing? Like, because I assume you have a contract with Devotion. So is it like, hey, they reach out to Devotion and then they reach out to you and say, hey, I'll pay you X to come out here and do this event and XYZ?
It's more, they don't reach out to Devotion themselves because we're considered independent. So we're not under contract with anybody. It's more of, let's say a wrestler from Arizona comes up. They're like, hey, I like you. Why don't you come work for this company that I work for down there? All right, cool. What's the pay? And a lot of times when you're starting out, it's a hot dog and a handshake. You know what I mean? They give you something to eat. They shake your hand. They say, good job.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out. You're out. That's how you start building up, though. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I assumed you guys were all under contract, like Matt said, but I also like being independent too, because like you said, if you get plucked and you want to go somewhere else, you can go hang out and do other things. Plus, getting to know as many people in different fractions of each state life you've been in. Like wrestling itself isn't very big, so you want to know as many people as you possibly can to try to get your name out there to get more bookings and more meetings and other stuff like that. So it's just like, I mean, how many new friends have you made from this? Like,
oh, so many people from Kentucky all the way out to Kentucky, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, California. Like, just there's too many to count.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, you're already getting your stuff in, so you are getting your name out there, so that's pretty tight.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience for that, and it's definitely based off of networking, like where you go and who brings you out and stuff like that.
Who's the most popular wrestler that you've met doing this type of work?
Ooh, popular wrestler that I've met. In the wrestling world, Brutal Bob Evans, Uncle Bob, as we call him.
Doesn't he do the news on Fox?
No, not that Bob Evans. Different Bob Evans.
That local legend, no.
No, not that local legend. This dude's he originates from Boston. He did work with like Ring of Honor. This past weekend, I got to meet former WCW's Glacier, which was really cool. He's a really insightful dude. Who else? Danny Cage, Marty the Moth Casaus, Kikutaro, who actually did the finger thing. He's pretty world renowned. He's a pretty cool dude.
Tight.
Is it consensual to get fingered by that man?
Yeah, is there a way, like, does he go in there? It's like, his thing is he puts his finger up your asshole. So if you get a finger, this has been places. You want to get famous? It's almost like some kind of weird, some
That's
kind of weird
Harvey
casting
Weinstein
couch.
got where he got.
Yeah, like everything in wrestling, like you have to talk about, like, are you comfortable taking this move? Are you comfortable doing this? And
can I sign no and not get in trouble?
I want to hang out with you guys, but I don't want a finger.
Everybody, you have to do the stick pull, and whoever gets the smallest stick gets a finger up their pooper.
Someone's getting fingered, and you guys need to decide amongst yourself who's getting this bad bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when I first met Kiku, he actually said something like that. He said this, because he doesn't speak good English, this up and very, very stinky. Very, very stinky. So if I come at you, very stinky. And I couldn't help but laugh. And I was like, got it. Avoid Kikutaru.
Oh, avoid
He should just yell oil check before he does it every time. Oil check.
Oh,
like,
no.
I don't know. I mean, I know you guys think of your own like special moves that no one else has, but why would you do the oil check? as your special? That's my shtick.
What is your special move, and how did you come about it?
Oh, yeah.
So my special move is a ripcord complete shot. So what I do is I get behind him and I grab one hand and I push them off and then use that hand that I have to pull them back in. And I jump, I wrap my arms around their head and I drag my shoulder, essentially driving their head into the mat. I call it the anxiety attack. And then I have a straight jacket choke that I call the self-harm. So basically wrap both of their arms around their neck and pull tight.
What made you think, what was your inspiration to go about these moves?
Definitely my coach Echo, who you saw in that clip that you guys played. He was in the pink and blue. He was the one who got fingered.
Gotcha.
It was one of those moves that he had seen and said, you know, it would work good because of your size if we did a complete shot. And it was one of those conversations where like, well, I like having the ripcord in my arsenal. And he's like, well, just do a ripcord complete shot. And that's what happened.
And that's how it came about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys
it just looks brutal and it plays to my character. So
have you guys thought about changing your Echo's name to Freddy because he got fingered?
No, we have not.
Where are you going with this?
Yeah.
So what are some big goals that you have for 2021? Because I mean, me and Anthony wanted to go see you at a FitCon, but then COVID happened, and
Right.
that must have put a damper on events. Because I mean, you can do like stuff with limited people, or until recently limited people, but before then no people. And so it was definitely weird seeing the WWE do it in Florida with no people. But what are some things that you hope to get done next year, considering pretty much with everything that's going on, that all restrictions will pretty much be lifted?
Travel more, travel often, as much as I can. Definitely attend more tryouts than I did in 2020, 2019, because, you know, why not? You know, you got to put your name out there. And
Yeah.
I think a big thing that I had, and this is something that you'll hear from veterans, is if that opportunity came, would you be ready? And at the time, I didn't feel that I was ready. Like I would miss things that were called in the ring. I would screw things up, and like that's always going to happen. But now I feel it's less frequent and I can carry myself better in a match. So definitely get out more, definitely travel out to, you know, Colorado, hopefully get in Arizona, hopefully get in Nevada, hopefully California. Just as things start to open up, we'll just see. But that's going to be my main goal.
That's a good one to have. I mean, you want the best and everything, but it's like, it's good that you have like steps and stuff you're doing towards, instead of being like, next year I want this, and if I don't get it, then I'm just going to completely give up. And it's just smart to just like, I want to travel because I want to, one, go other places, and then two, because I can go meet other people again. And especially if you go to like the bigger markets, California, and more just pretty much anywhere in California, there's going to be lots of wrestling stuff like that going on.
Oh yeah. Big ones back east. I want to head out to Georgia one of these times. Glacier, who I was talking about earlier, actually an invite to go train out there with them in Georgia. I want to go back out to Kentucky and train out in Kentucky again, work with Al Snow again. That was awesome. So hopefully I can do more of that in 2021.
Yeah, that's tight. When's your next like title match? Or is there like someone that's going to come after your crown?
There's all with this on me, like everyone, if your goal isn't to win this for a company, then why are you here type thing. So our next show is December 9th, where I will be defending my belt. Against who? I don't know.
Okay.
December or January?
January 9th. My bad. January 9th.
I was going to say, wait.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, I'm going to hold it for a whole year and not do anything with it. No. January 9th at the Gateway is when I'll defend this for the first time.
Tight.
Great. Then I'll make sure to be in attendance to watch that. Maybe we get some great things. And if you defend it, then that'll be great.
Heck yeah. Defend and retain.
Yeah, so that's gonna be great. So my last question is when do you get your script, but like leading to, because obviously they're not going to be like, this is what we're planning for 2 years, blah 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 blah. I assume it's like more of a not necessarily week by week, but a little bit longer than that. When do you get your script about how something is going to go down, so that way you can start practicing in the trainings?
The Thursday before the show.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So our show on Saturday, and then we'll get 2 days, if that. Sometimes we don't get it till day of.
Oh, damn. That is really cutting it
and
short.
It's just like, yeah. So we're shooting pre-tapes. Call time's normally 11 or 12, and we are there until 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
That makes sense.
Shooting, wrestling, doing our matches, doing everything that.
Yeah, that is a lot. Like, do you do multiple filmings in one day? Like multiple, because you do them Saturday. You said Saturday?
Yeah.
So it's
so
like
we do them once
Saturday,
a month. So in one.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah. So we'll do for one Saturday, we will shoot 5 weeks worth of TV.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's, I mean, as a kid, I was like, okay, they're literally doing this live as I'm watching this. And then later, I was a lot older than I should have been. Like, you know what would be smart is if they did it all in one thing, because you don't have to worry about like things just come up. And it's like, okay, well, if you spend just a Saturday doing this, we can knock everything out.
Tony just gets on the phone. Hello, Mr. McMahon. I have an idea.
See, and that's the thing, is that's the way it used to be, is they couldn't do live TV back then. And so like the WWE guys, they're doing these shows Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And these are live TV events. So it's live TV is totally different, but at the same time, you're performing for a live audience when you're shooting these. So it's just crazy, man. Times, you got to hit your times. That's a big thing too.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. Do you have any other questions, Tony?
No, I think we got them all out of the way.
All right. So January 9th at the Gateway, Salt Lake City, for people who listen out of state. So if you listen out of state, I know you can watch it online. Do you know what the address is to watch it online or watch previous matches?
Yeah, so you can go to youtube.com and search Devotion Championship Wrestling. We're on Fight TV Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern. Cool. We're on Amazon Fire, Amazon Prime, Roku TV. All you have to do is look up either OVW, which is our parent school, or Devotion Championship Wrestling, and we're all right there.
Very cool.
And then Sundays on the CW at 11 a.m. Utah CW 30 at 11.
Okay.
That works. All right. Well, do you have anything else to plug?
Yeah. Follow my Instagram at BonesawWill. Follow my Facebook page at William Cunning, the William Cunning. Make sure you check out Devotion Championship Wrestling. Hit me up for tickets. Hit Manny up for tickets. And hopefully I'll see some of you meat sacks at the show.
Nice.
All right, champ. Well, then I'll see you in person next time I see you in person. Until then, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Be safe.
Love you. Goodbye.
Later.